أعوذ بالله الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. So now we'll be talking about the advantages of centralized recruitment. And when you're talking about centralized recruitment, of which the opposite is decentralized. So centralized recruitment, for example, if you are in a company or if you are in an organization, there are many departments in an organization. For example, the Department of Marketing, the Department of Finance, the Department of Production, and the other departments. So what they normally do is that their recruitment is all the same. It is done with one office. That is the HR office. But in some organization, you find that every department is responsible for the recruitment. And this normally happens in universities. So for example, you have the Faculty of Computer Science, the Faculty of Business Administration, the Faculty of Nursing. So every dean in his or her faculty is responsible for the recruitment. So that is a decentralized. Decentralized means Allah markazia. Centralized means markazia, where for the whole university, it's only the HR that is going to do the recruitment. Now, so what is the advantage of this? What is the advantage of centralized recruitment? Number one, it ensures uniformity in the recruitment policy of the organization. So there is uniformity. So the recruitment in all the department is the same because it is being done by one department, which is the HR. But sometimes if it is not centralized, this faculty is going to use their own system, this faculty. So there is a mushakal of recruitment policy. So we don't need a mushakal. Sometimes it has what? Disadvantage. It helps reduce costs. When it is decentralized, the cost is minimized. Unlike when every department is doing their own advertisement, their own marketing, their own interviews, their own selection, it is very expensive. But if it is centralized, we save a lot of money. Then number three, it ensures the best possible utilization of the expertise of the HR professional of the organization. So it basically means we use the HR department because that is their work. You know, it's their work to recruit, it's their work to select. So we use them, we optimize their work. We use them optimally. Then number three, it can avoid personal bias and prejudice. So when all the recruitment of the university is done by the HR, there is no personal bias or prejudice. So as the dean of computer science, you cannot bring your friend to work. Or if you hate somebody, there is no chance there because it is centralized. But if you're the one, the dean is the one who is doing, sometimes the dean can give some courses to his friends. And people who are competent are not getting the chance. That is because we have decentralized the recruitment. So that is the disadvantage of decentralization. But when it is centralized, it is open, it is very competitive, and there is justice, there is al-adala. Then number five, it facilitates the maintenance of the centralized talent pool to cater to the needs of different departments. So from the centralized pool, then we can do what? From this pool, if it is in a university, from this pool, we can easily select this one is qualified for computer science, this one is qualified for business administration, from that one pool, not different pools. Then it allows line managers to devote more time to operational activities. So if this work of recruitment is for the HR office. The deans, they will do their work. They will have more time to do their work. So they don't have to waste time in recruitment. So the time they could have wasted in recruitment, they can save their time to do their office work, to do their research, to write reports. So they don't have to involve themselves. These are the line managers. They don't have to involve themselves in recruitment, no, because the HR is going to do everything. So this is the advantages of award of a centralized recruitment. Now, the next thing now we are going to the recruitment process. Remember, when we were defining the recruitment, we talked about it being a process of attracting a pool of people from which we will select. So this process, it involves what? There are 5 things involved in this process. Number 1, human resource planning. Number 2, determination of strategy. 3, evaluation of the sources of recruitment. 4, implementation of recruitment methods and strategy. Then lastly, feedback and control. So all the organizations, they normally do this. When they're recruiting, they normally follow this process. Of course, for some organizations, it might be different, but most of the organizations, they follow this systematic process. So number 1, we'll not talk about this because we talked about it last week. So number 1 is human resource planning. Remember last week we said human resource planning is all about one side, the demand, one side is the supply. So one side is how many do we need? The other side is where are we going to get it? So we cannot start recruitment without planning. It is like you cannot start building a house without having a plan. You need to have the architectural plan. So you need to have the human resource planning before you do anything. Number 2, if the plan is ready, then you can go to the what? Determination of strategy. So when we are talking about strategy in short, in brief, it is all about determining the sources of recruitment. So what is going to be our strategy? Are we going to recruit internally or we are going to recruit externally? Or we are going to have a mushakal. We are going to have internal and you are going to have external, a cocktail strategy. So this is the meaning of a strategy. So for some organizations, they prefer internal recruitment. For some organizations, they prefer external. For some organizations, they combine, they merge the two. So this is what is about. This is all about the strategy. Then number 3, evaluation of the sources of recruitment. Now we have the internal on one side, we have external on one side. So what should we do? We need to evaluate the advantages and disadvantages. Then after that, khalas, we make the decision. For each and every strategy, there is an advantage, there is a disadvantage. So we weigh, we evaluate, we assess. Then it is only after that that we can make an informed decision. Then number 4, implementation of recruitment method. Now, after evaluating, maybe we will decide, okay, let us go externally. So now we implement the external strategy. You start advertising, you advertise in your all your platforms using the agencies, or if you decide to go internally, you implement it. So this is what is meant by implementing. Then lastly, we have the feedback and what? The feedback and control. When you're talking about the feedback and control, we are basically talking, remember we said that the recruitment, it is what? The recruitment, it is a continuous process. Then number 2, remember, when we are advertising for jobs, we get feedback. So for example, we advertise for a job, and many people apply for this job. This is a feedback. It means that our recruitment policy is very effective. And another time we advertise for a job, only a few people apply. So the question here is, why did a few people apply? So this is the feedback. So the feedback from our recruitment can be positive when many people are applying, and it can be negative when only a few people are applying. So when it is negative, we need to do what? We need to improve. We need to ask ourselves, what are the weaknesses? What areas needs to be sharpened? What areas needs to be enhanced? Now, on to the next point. Sources of recruitment. So, developing different sources of recruitment is essential for an organization. When the organization is successful in gathering a large applicants pool, it can adopt a rigorous procedure in choosing the best employees from such a pool without compromising on quality. However, this is very important. I need you to underline this. However, there is no single combination of resources and methods that will work well for all organizations, or for that matter, across all labor markets, or even within a labor market. Thus, an organization should use multiple recruitment sources to build its applicant pool. So we cannot sit and say there is a formula. We cannot sit here and say this is the best recruitment strategy. No. They are telling us recruitment strategies will always be different depending on the sector, depending on the industry, depending on the field. So there is no one answer. There is no one answer. There is no one key to recruitment. You cannot just say this is the best strategy. No. So they are telling us the best strategy is the mushakal. You should use multiple recruitment process to build your applicants pool. That is the best thing you can do. That is what they are advising us. If you want to get if you want to get a good pool of applicants based on quantity and quality, then you need to use multiple sources, both internally and externally. Now, when you are talking about the sources of recruitment, we have the internal and external. Now, the internal sources of recruitment. Internal means inside the organization. And they are three. Internal sources normally consist of the existing employees. For example, if Telesom today or Dahabshil, they advertise for a job, people who are inside Dahabshil, they can apply for that job. That is called internal recruitment. Number two, the former employees. Maybe Mohammed was working in 2020, he was working in Dahabshil. In 2025, Dahabshil is advertising for the job. So if Mohammed applies, that is also considered internal recruitment because Mohammed was here before. So that is also part of internal. So he knows the organization, he knows our strategy, he knows our policies. So that is called internal recruitment. Then lastly, employee referral. Employee referral means Mohammed is working in Dahabshil. And Dahabshil, they are announcing, hey, we need an accountant. Then Mohammed is saying, I have one person. I know him. He graduated from Ahmad University. I know him. He's a very good person. So you are referring somebody. So those are the three sources. Those are the three internal sources. So you will read later and you will learn from those three. Now, what are the advantages of the internal sources? Because internal means these people, they know us or they have been recommended by somebody. Because if Muhammad cannot recommend somebody who is not good to the Habshil, so we know, we trust Muhammad. So when Muhammad tells us, I have a friend, We believe in Muhammad. Muhammad has been working with us. He cannot bring a criminal to our company. So number one, what are the advantages? It helps the organization in offering career development plans to its employees. So the internal recruitment helps the organization to always train their employees inside, so that if there is any position, they are ready. Number two, internal candidates may require less orientation and training than outside. If the recruitment is internally, we will not spend a lot of money in orientation or training, because already these people are inside. They know how to do the work. Then number three, internal recruitment can act as a good motivator and morale booster if the employees see promotions as a reward. So if Dahabshil is promoting people inside, they will be motivated. Everybody will be working hard because they know maybe next year I will go up. Next year, maybe it will be me. Then, number four, it facilitates better utilization of skills, experience, and qualification of the existing employees. So the Habshil is going to use the available skills. It's going to utilize the skill that it is having. It does not have to go out. Then number five, it is easy to induct existing employees into the work environment as they are normally familiar. They already know the environment. So it is easy for them to be assimilated. It is easy for them to adapt. Then it is economical and less time consuming. If we recruit internally, we don't have to advertise. So it is less, it is economical, meaning that we don't use a lot of money. Then it can enhance loyalty. Loyalty means al-wala. So if Muhammad will always be loyal, even if premier banks come to Muhammad, we are going to give you better salary than Dahabshil. No, I cannot leave Dahabshil. I trust them. They always promote us. They give us training. So this is one source of what? This is one reason why many employees will not leave the organization. If you promote them, if you train them. But if you don't train them, then if Premier Bank comes to Muhammad will leave tomorrow. Even he will not say Ma'asalam. He will leave immediately. But if you are taking good care of Muhammad, before he leaves, he will ask a lot of questions. It will be a difficult decision to leave Dahabshil. Now, we also have the disadvantages of internal recruitment. So you will read all these disadvantages later, but the main disadvantages of the internal recruitment is that you don't get new ideas. You don't get new blood. So you are just working with those people who are there. So there is no fresh ideas. There is no fresh blood. So that is the main disadvantage of internal recruitment. Now, external recruitment. When you are talking about external recruitment, you are going outside the organization. So number one, there is employment exchanges. Employment exchanges, normally, many countries in Africa, they normally do it. So employment exchanges basically means, for example, in Mogadishu, there is a very big hall. So all the big companies in Mogadishu, they meet in this hall, and they meet with those people who are looking for jobs. So employment exchange is the companies, they meet with people who are looking for jobs. So they advertise their jobs in what? In the hall. So the Habshil Bank will say, okay, we need 2 accountants. TMAD will say we need a teacher. Another company will say we need this, we need this. So it is going to match exchanges. So if you are there, you are going to be lucky. If you have the qualification, then you are going to get a job. So that is known as exchange. Or sometimes you just exchange contacts. You meet in a place, the employers and the employees, they meet, you exchange your contacts, fil mustakbal. if there is any opportunity. Then number two, this is what many organizations do. It is known as outsourced recruitment. So if we are Dabshil Bank, because we don't have the expertise in recruitment, we pay a recruitment agency, and it is the one that is going to do what? It's the one that is going to advertise. For example, in Somali, you have the Somali jobs, or you have the Kulan, whatever. So these are platforms, you just go and pay them. So they are the ones who will be responsible for everything. So you just give them, okay, this is the portfolio. This is my criteria. This is what I need. You give them. They will find them, interview them, and they'll bring them to you. And many organizations, they are now doing this. So many organizations, they don't have HR department. If they want HR, they just outsource somebody to work for 2-3 weeks, masalam. So they find it cheaper. Then advertisement printed. Advertisement, you have magazines, newspapers, anything that is printed. Then campus recruiting. Campus recruiting means university recruiting. Some organizations, they go to universities. Remember last week I told you. So they can go, for example, to Simad University, or they can go to Mogadishu University. They can go to the faculties and they can ask, we need your best students in software engineering. We need them to come and work with us. So that is known as campus what? It is known as campus recruiting. You go to the universities, you offer them the jobs there, you interview them, and you sign the contracts. Then walk-in and write-ins. Walk-in, look at the picture. Walk-in means Muhammad is just going to walk to the Habshil and going to knock the door. Hey, Assalamu Alaikum. Okay, I'm a graduate from Elo University. I'm looking for a job. Do you have any job? Inshallah, if you get any job, this is my CV. So this is called walk-in. So they have not advertised. You are the one who is just walking, especially when you are fresh graduate. You walk from this company, you go to another. So you are tarmacking as you're looking for the job. Write-in means you're writing emails. If you have the email, for example, of any company, you go to the website, you find their email, and you write to them, hey, please, I'm this. You give them their qualification. Please, in future, if there is any job, I am ready. I'm willing to work. So that is the meaning of write-in. Write-in, you write letters. So all these are self-initiated. You are the one who is, it is not the company. You are the one, the employee is the one who is initiating it. Then another one is the internet recruiting. So this one, for example, many companies, they do this. So you place an advertisement on the internet for inviting application from the potential applicant to fill the vacancy specified. So you just advertise it you put the advertisement on the internet, and many companies now, they normally use the Google form. So you write your qualification, you attach your certificate, you attach your CV, you submit. So that is what is called the internet recruitment. Then poaching. Poaching, many companies, they do this. Poaching is like stealing. Look at the picture. Look at what is happening in the picture. Sometimes you find that maybe you have like Telesom and Somtel. Those are telecommunication. They normally compete for the best, for the best software engineers. So Somtel, if Mohammed is working at Telesom, Somtel will meet Mohammed somewhere in a hotel. They will call Mohammed, come please. Look, how much are they paying you there? Oh, they are paying me $2,000. Listen, Mohammed, we are going to give you a package of $5,000. We'll give you a car, we'll give you health insurance. Please come and work in our company. So this is called what? It is called raiding or poaching. It is just like what happens in football teams. Sometimes you find Manchester, maybe they are poaching the best player in a team. Like you say, hey, we are going to pay you in a week, we are going to pay you $1 million. So that is called poaching. It's called raiding. So many organizations, they normally do this, especially in software, especially in technology, because, and this raiding and poaching normally happens in what? It normally happens in, Mohammed, can you switch off your video, please? It normally happens in ICT and IT because you don't have enough skills there. So that is where there will be a lot of poaching. Come, I will give you this salary, and so on and so forth. So these are some of the anti-poaching techniques. You read it during your own time, during your free time. These are the techniques that companies they normally use to steal employees from other companies. They have a lot of ways and methods. These are around 9 methods. Okay, then we also have now the advantages of external sources. So during your free time, you read the advantages. But the main advantage of the external source is that you get fresh blood, you get new ideas, people who can innovate, people who can bring change to your organization. This is the what? This is the advantage that you are going to get. You get diverse group of people from different countries, different tribes, different nationalities, different experience. So you are going to get a lot of people if you recruit externally. Now, there are a lot of disadvantages, but the key disadvantage is it's very expensive. You use a lot of money, and also you are bringing new faces to the organization, people who are not familiar with the organization. So you'll have to train them. Some of them, they don't know your culture. You'll have to show them the culture of the organization. So it will take a lot of time. Then another thing, they will not be loyal to you. New employees, they will come, they work with you for 2 weeks or 2 months, they get a job in another place, they leave your company. So that is the disadvantage of bringing people from outside, because you don't know their plan. Some of them, maybe they have criminal records. Some of them, maybe they are not qualified. Like in some countries now, it's happening, especially in schools and universities. So somebody just say, I can teach in a university, and their certificates are fake. And for some employers, they don't even know how to verify the certificate. So I have seen many cases where people are employed. Later, you come and realize they did not have any qualification. They did not go to any school. So the HR manager will be somebody with a capacity. When people are applying for the job, you have to look at their certificate, call their university. Hey, Mohammed from Amud, did he graduate from Amud on this year? Is he on the list? Okay, tick. If Mohammed is not in the list, take Mohammed to police because maybe he's telling lies. Even doctors, all the fields now, people are just eating haram stuff. So that is the end of our lesson. Is there any question, please? If you have any question, you can ask. If you have any question, please. I'm going to send the attendance I'm sending the attendance. I'm giving you 5 minutes, please. After 5 minutes, I will close the link. And I don't want anybody to send me a message to my inbox. Because there are some students, I send the link, I tell you I'm going to give you 5 minutes. And these are the students who are always absent. They come and lie to me and tell me, oh, teacher, I was in class. I don't know what is. I will not listen to any story. Please, I have sent the link. Can you take the attendance? After 5 minutes, I'm going to close the link. Is there any question, please? So I'm preparing your quiz. Maybe your quiz will be ready by tomorrow or Saturday, I think. So when the quiz is ready, I will send it in your group. So the quiz will be 20%. Then your attendance will be 20%. Then the final exam will be out of 60. So prepare for your quiz, and the quiz will cover the first 3 chapters. The introduction, then you have the job analysis, then you have the human resource planning. Those 3 chapters, you'll find it in your quiz. Okay? So that's the end of our lesson. If there is no question, we'll meet tomorrow, inshallah. Now, Abdullah, what's your question? Yes, please, you can ask. Yes, please. Mute yourself. You can unmute yourself.
Yes, teacher.
Naam.
I have questions. Some organizations they advertise it for available jobs. Also, they selected already someone, but after they selected, they advertised that job. So, what is the disadvantage of the of the that job according the performance or effectiveness of the organization because they use in some organization for tribalism.
Yeah, of course, this normally happens in many organizations. That is when they are advertising for the job, it is just a formality because already they have a special person for the job. So sometimes you cannot do anything, maybe because it is their family member. So it is something that is morally wrong. Those people are doing it, they're not doing something that is right. But sometimes it's very difficult to deal with such situation. But it is a corrupt thing, and that is why you people are doing this course, because if you finish this course, maybe you'll be working as managers in organizations, in companies. So you have to ensure that when you are advertising for any job, it should be competitive. All the people should be given the chance. Because most of the time they select people who are not qualified, they don't know how to do the job. So it's something that is bad, but sometimes what can you do? You just try to do your best if you are the manager in that position. Nam, Yusuf, what's your question?
Assalamu Alaikum, teacher.
Alaikum salam wa
Question is last week in free day, I cannot see of attendance link. It closed me.
Yeah, I closed the attendance after 5 minutes. I gave you the instruction in class. I said I'm going to send the attendance, and after 5 minutes, I'm going to, because I'm closing it after 5 minutes, because there are some students who did not attend, and they will just take the attendance, and it will not be fair. So that is why I close it after 5 minutes. So it means that if you don't take your attendance after 5 minutes, it means you are not in class.
Okay.
So to avoid because we need to be very fair. There are some students, they are sacrificing their time. You know, they come to class, they attend. Then there are some students, they just wait for the link. They don't attend classes. They just wait for the link. They take the attendance. And I think that is not good. Now,
Okay, teacher. But sometimes you can screenshot your screen.
yeah,
Or
if you are in class, that's okay. If for example, if the link is closed, you can send me the screenshot. Then I can add your name because I know maybe the problem was the internet or something else. So if you have the screenshot, you can send it to me.
Okay, teacher. Thank you.
Okay, inshallah. So I think that's the end. We'll meet tomorrow, inshallah. Assalam.
Inshallah. Be like him.
Okay, thank you.